It's time. In 5 days, let's do our thing. Nothing can prepare you for the truth. Everything you've ever known led you to this moment. Stephen Strange, Illuminati. We'll see you now.
Like check.
Look at that fancy chair, though.
What's that?
He's got a fancy chair.
I'm 7-time NBA champion.
Yeah, that's real
I'm
simple.
a former NBA writer turned podcast with Barry. We're excited to introduce our new podcast, NBA Finals. Each week, we will deep dive
3 minutes.
Slash, if I mute myself on my board, which I'm going to do in a second, can you still hear me? That's 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yep, gotcha. Never sounded better.
Yeah, I was looking for a cough button kind of thing.
Starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination. And based on data from the NPD Group 2021. This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart.
I love how we actually have cough buttons in here now. Literally a button that just says cough. Really? Yeah, that should be right.
I couldn't get through a show without a cough button.
Yeah. 2 minutes.
So this is not a good enough cough button.
Yeah, if you see me dive out of this screen, that's what I'm doing.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an
DraftKings Sportsbook.
of the NFL. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up. That's code SPORTS only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
If we could raise one more dollar, share one more story, we could make an impact toward a world without breast cancer. Join the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk this Mother's Day, June 8th at Parks Casino. Register for free today at komen.org/EastPA Walk. iHeartRadio brings
I'm gonna have to add some promos to these breaks. They're so short for some reason.
And camps with your rundown of what's coming to streaming services the week of May 2nd. Next week on Netflix, on Wednesday, the dating show The Circle drops its 4th season. Thursday marks the premiere of the Mike Myers starring comedy The Huntaverate. And on Friday, based on a comic book, The Sound of Magic debuts.
1 minute.
Next week,
All right, guys, I'm popping out.
What was the reasoning for the animated movie? Is there a connection somewhere?
I was watching animated movies this morning. We were watching Bolt. I was like, this is easy. Yesterday was just, I was so busy yesterday. I was just,
Dude, I told you, you don't have to kill yourself on the red sheet.
no, dude, it takes me like 20 minutes now, if that. Yeah, it was quick.
You learned that from Quimby.
Oh, Quimby, I spent all day on this. I'm like, really? Like you're copying and pasting.
Yeah. It's like 5 sheets. It's like a movie script. All right. We're about to head into the legal and then the intro.
Oh, I don't have my live read.
Don't worry about it. I got it.
Okay. I mean, unless you want to send them to me.
Summer Sundays are meant for freshly cut grass. Both our dogs
Hey,
and the
needs
best
to volume up.
baseball talk you can find.
Murph.
So kick back with your bacon and eggs and pour yourself a mimosa while Phillies announcer Gregg Murphy and Green Legion Radio's Chris Sack break down your fighting Phils and take you around the league. Right now on Baseball Brunch. Play-mo.
Good morning, Philadelphia, and welcome to Bud Light Baseball Brunch, powered by Green Legion Radio on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. Download that iHeartRadio app, and you will have the privilege of listening to this show anywhere, crystal clear, worldwide. I am back in studio with my man Slash at the 102.5 Fox Sports Gambler Studios in Ballackinwood. And like we said in our first show of the season, one of the cool things that we're going to be able to do this year is bring you live to wherever the Phillies are at on the road on the weekend. Murph and I will be together down at Xfinity Live at 1100 Social. Next Sunday, for the first time this season, for a Sunday show. We had the home opener show to kick off with a 2-hour show at the beginning of the season. But we will be indoors this year. We won't be outside. You won't see the Green Legion radio tents as you did last year. Thank God I don't feel like lugging those things around again for the second season in a row. Yeah, oh man, God, brutal last year for sure. But hey, we'll be back down there, so make sure you guys come down and say hi to us before the game next week against the Mets. But Murph is in his apartment, or not apartment, his hotel room right now. He wishes this was apartment in Manhattan, of all places. He doesn't go to Queens. Nobody wants to be in Queens unless you're Kevin James. Murph, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Get set for Sunday night baseball tonight. You know, throughout the course of the season, what you and I had kind of envisioned, I'll be on the road with the team, and we'd be bringing you into different ballparks all over the country. Well, Sunday night baseball, don't need to get to the ballpark quite this early. So instead, you get my hotel room. But nonetheless, we'll try to bring you the flavor of New York. I've got the skyline right out over here. It's looking good. I've got my extremely expensive coffee. So
I was about to say, you're bringing us the taste of New York, for a very expensive taste of New York right now.
Yeah, there's nothing cheap in New York City. So if you want coffee, you better get your wallet out and get ready to pay for it.
You have to take a second mortgage out to get that.
That's true. That's true.
You know, it was funny, Murph. I was on Twitter this morning, and I completely forgot about this. And I'm wondering why the Phillies and the Mets, or why the Phillies are on back-to-back Sunday night baseball games. Did you know that 11 years ago today, Phillies Mets were on Sunday night baseball, and it was when it was announced that Osama bin Laden was killed. And, we lost that game 2-0, but that was a big moment in our country's history. And I guess that's the reason why that they're going back to this matchup, even though the Phillies are in primetime back-to-back weeks. But it has to be the reason for that, I would assume.
Yeah. Well, perhaps there's that connection. I mean, I think Phillies Mets obviously is a draw regardless. True story. I was anchoring that night the 1 a.m. newscast at Comcast Sportsnet. So when the game was over, they would come to us and we would do the 1 to 1:30, which would then re-air all morning on Comcast Sportsnet, Sports Rise, we used to call it. And I was anchoring that show. So the game got over. And if you remember correctly, no one was exactly sure what had happened. And many people were asleep. Obviously, it was close to midnight when things really started to kind of figure out that, the word was that Osama bin Laden had been killed. So we came on the air live at 1 a.m. And I remember my news director, Michelle Murray, at the time, she and I sat down and wrote like about a minute on camera piece that started the show about what had happened overnight. And so many people over the years, and this gives me chills to talk about, but so many people over the years have told me that they woke up the next morning, put on Sports Rise, and found out that Osama bin Laden had been killed through our report. And when I stopped to think about that and the significance of that, and how many people we told that he had been killed, it's really kind of remarkable. One I don't want to say one of the coolest moments, because it's a sad moment, but certainly for the United States of America, it was a great moment, and to be able to announce that was kind of cool.
Osama bin Laden was not a great neighbor, but I'm sure our friends at State Farm are. You've changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Dave Avuso will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Dave Avuso at 856-740-5012 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Again, State Farm, 856-740-5012. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements. That is how we are going to start this show today. Our first segment is brought to you by State Farm. Ticket giveaway. We're going to have a little bit of fun as we do every single week. And, Murph had asked me about 5 minutes before we came on air. He's like, where did you get this from? And I was like, well, I was watching Bolt with my kids this morning. So,
I know that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's not the best. It's certainly not the best, but I'm going to give everybody an opportunity today. Murph, we got a huge series coming up this upcoming weekend at the bank. 4-game set against the New York Mets. Hopefully we can wrap this one up and take this series in Queens like they did against us a couple weeks ago at the bank. I'm looking right now to give away 2 tickets for the Phillies and Mets on Friday, May 6th at 7:05 p.m. Reason for that? Why not? I don't want to give you Thursday tickets. I want to give you Friday tickets. You can go out. It's been a long week of work. You can go out and party, have a good time, get a load on. No doubt about it. Have some fun on us here at Bud Light Baseball Brunch. In order to win, you must answer in the comments section on the Green Legion Radio YouTube channel, the Green Legion Facebook page. We go Facebook Live, or our Twitter handle at Green Legion. Having 2 young kids myself, this is a big part of my everyday life. Favorite animated movie of all time? Which one do you get the most enjoyment out of? I know, Murph, I know it's been a while for you, but which one? What is your favorite animated movie of all time?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Zach, because I really do think that animated movies tie into your life in the time period when you have younger kids. Now, my kids are in their late teens, early 20s, so it's been a while for me, as you point out. But it's a great topic for me to think back because it brings back some great memories. So I made a list of 5 like I did last week. I'm not going to reveal all 5 right now. But
you're doing a lot of homework this year. I'm loving it.
I'm putting the work in.
Top 5 list with Murph.
I will give you my number 5 on the list, and the number 5 actually is a little bit more contemporary, but I took my kids to see this movie in the movie theater when they were probably all teenagers. We were on vacation. It was pouring rain. We had nothing else to do, and we went and saw the movie Frozen. And I hadn't been to an animated movie in a movie theater forever, and it really was kind of a great, great day, great flick, whatever. So that's number 5 on my list. Not even close to number 1, but it's number 5 on my list. But if you get number 1 on my list, you got a good chance of winning those tickets.
You just got to learn to let it go, right, Murph? I mean, I'm sure you've sung that song many times throughout the years.
Only in the shower, yeah.
Oh gosh, that's not good. All right, so I'm gonna for me, growing up, and listen, I'm just gonna knock out the whole franchise here. Toy Story. Okay. Yeah. Toy Story for me, growing up, 1995, I wasn't even 10 years old yet. And then 1999, the second one came out. And then my whole family went together in 2010 when the third one came out. And we're all sitting there blubbering, crying like babies, when they're going down towards the fire and then they're rescued by the aliens. And then when at the end of the movie, when Andy gives the toys away to the little girl who wound up being the bad guy in Toy Story 4, if you ask me. But we're all grown adults at that point, and we're crying during the course of Toy Story 3.
I can admit to that too.
Yeah, and then Toy Story 4 comes along, and I'm taking my oldest son to go see the movie with me. It's like it's crossed every box in my life over the course of 24 years at that point in 2019. So it takes you from a kid all the way to you even having kids. It's special. I love it so much. Slash, how about you? Why don't you give me yours?
Toy Story is a strong one, but growing up, I was always a huge Lion King fan. That's my favorite Disney movie of all time.
That's a great movie. It's rough trying to get through the part where Mufasa dies.
Yeah. Oh, God, talk about emotion.
Oh, man, God, that's rough. Sam, do you want to chime in? I want to hear yours real quick before we go out of the box. What do you got for me? Sleeping Beauty. Well, is that just a pun for yourself? I'm not sure.
It's in other words, she's taking a nap. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
All right, here. Let's go out of the box. Phillies have gone 5-2 over the last week and have scratched and clawed their way back to 500, 11-11. It's 4 games back of the division-leading Mets in third place right now. Marlins have won 7 in a row and are 2 games ahead of the Phillies and 2 games back of the Mets. Tied for second in Major League Baseball right now, the Phillies are. In runs scored, 3 teams have 104. The Phillies and Yankees have 100. And however, Murph, I know we were texting on Friday night. Here I am. I know the Phillies won on Saturday night. I sit here with a bad
5-2.
I know, Murph, but one of those two just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Friday evening, and listen, I just want to just get this off my chest at the very beginning here because sour grapes, and that's just how I choose to live. Listen, I don't care if they get no hit. It's going to happen. Actually, this is a fun fact that Diaz liked to share with me the other night. The Phillies have been no hit more than any team in Major League Baseball. I don't care.
Longer than most teams in Major League Baseball.
Absolutely, yes. But for me, listen, being no hit against the Mets in Citi Field against that fan base, I was so ticked off. And like everybody after Thursday, Murph, I know we were joking around about how, the guys on the sports talk radio on the satellite, they're talking about jersey numbers. Before we jumped on, you're like, that's probably the most sports talk I've heard in about 6 years. And, so I laugh about that. But like everybody on Friday, after the, what the Eagles did on Thursday night and what the Phillies did, capping off the 4-game sweep of the Rockies on Thursday afternoon, and the Sixers advancing to the second round, all the good stuff. Everything came crashing down on Friday night. Embiid news about the orbital fracture, that Phillies get no hit. I mean, the only good thing that happened that night was that the Flyers lost again, and they have a higher prospect for getting into the top 3 for a really good draft pick that they'll more than likely screw up anyway. But the Phillies getting no hit. I mean, you're in the ballpark. What are your thoughts? That 9th inning was ugly, man. 3 strikeouts against Diaz. They were swinging out everything outside of the zone. It was just brutal.
Edwin Diaz was unhittable. He was unhittable. Every other Mets pitcher was not that night. The Phils just had a bad night. Yeah, I think I have this right. They saw more pitches during that game than in any other no-hitter in the history of baseball. It's not like
what was it, 154 pitches?
Like that. Yeah. It was 154. It's not like the team was dominated, right? I had the feeling throughout the game. Yeah, I knew they hadn't gotten a hit, but it wasn't like, it was at one point it was 2-0, 3-0. You felt like they were still in the game. They were 1 hit away from being right back in it, kind of thing. And I don't know. I said this on the post-game show on the Friday Night Roundtable when we were talking with the guys. I said, maybe I'm being a baseball snob, but combined no-hitter to me, it's like, all right. I mean, a no-hitter is a no-hitter, and that's cool. And that's a guy coming in and shoving it and putting your team back in the dugout and putting them in its place. A combined no-hitter where your starter goes 5 and then you throw 4 other guys up there, with the exception of Diaz, who was absolutely dominant. That's baseball. Advantage pitcher, you get a couple. I did not feel as though it was that special. And again, I've been involved in a combined no-hitter in the Phillies franchise.
Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels, Ken Giles. I think it was 2014. It was like September 2014. Yeah, because Cole had his own one in 2015, obviously, in his last start as a Philly. But
right, it was 14. It was Cole and Giles and
Papelbon.
And then Papelbon. And I was there. I interviewed the guys after the game, and it was neat. But it didn't even hold, a candle to what Cole did the next season when he did it against the Cubs. So in
Wrigley, beautiful.
Combined no hitter. Yay, Mets! Way to go! Series tied at 1. To me, it is what it is, and I think for the most part, that's how the guys in the clubhouse looked at it too. It's like, you know what, we had a bad night. If that one ball falls in the second inning that Nimmo makes a terrific catch on, I had a 77% hit probability or whatever, and he robs Gene Segura of a hit. That falls. We're not even talking. We're talking about a 3-0 loss. So I don't know. To me, it wasn't that big of a deal. I don't think it was that big of a deal to the guys in the clubhouse. And they bounced back. That's what was important. Now they have a chance to win the series. And that doesn't matter at all. Mets fans could talk about, hey, I was there the night. Big deal. If you were there when Santana did it, good for you, even though that was blemished too. But
yeah, just for the simple fact that the rest of his career went down the toilet after that.
Well, yeah, there was also a bad call in that game.
Well, there was, yeah.
Whatever. So to me, it's water off the back. No big deal.
Okay. So here, listen, I know Ben Davis has been on TV this weekend with our good friend Tom McCarthy. We'd love to get him back on the show sometime soon there as well, Murph. We'd love to have that. But with Tom McCarthy and Ben Davis, I was at the Flyers game on Friday night, so I wasn't we watched the last couple innings, over at Xfinity Live, my wife and I, and I don't know if this was brought up, but I do know. I mean, and we were talking about this yesterday at my oldest son's birthday party with my dad. Listen, I don't know. I know Ben Davis had that bunt against Kurt Schilling that time where Kurt was mowing them down, and I believe it was a 2-0 game at the time. And all you're looking for is just base runners. Was it brought up at any point in time during the course of the broadcast? I know you're focusing your side on the radio with the pre and post, but was it brought up at all about potentially someone just laying down a bunt, a bloop, a blast? You're tied. You have a tie game. Was that brought up at all?
Well, we didn't bring it up on the radio. At least I don't remember it being talked about on the radio with Fransky and Kevin Stocker. Whether or not they talked about it on TV, I don't know. But we've talked about that at length with Ben over the years. And I'm of the opinion, I didn't know Ben Davis. I didn't really know Ben when he did that. But I have a distinct memory of thinking to myself, good for him. Way to break up the no-hitter. That's what you're supposed to do. I am 100%. 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. If you can lay down a bunt and break up a no-hitter, do it. That's what I would do, and I have no problem with that. So whether it was brought up or not, I don't know. Whether or not the Phillies could have or should have done that on Friday night, I don't remember an opportunity thinking this would be a good time to try and lay one down. But, when you're trying to win a baseball game, do whatever you got to do. You do whatever you got to do, especially in a game that's still winnable. And that game was winnable right up until they handed the baseball to Edwin Diaz. So.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, just friendly reminder, make sure you guys get your favorite animated movie of all time. Doesn't matter what it is. You get one guess. Make sure you go to our social media feeds and get that in. We're going to announce our winner sometime during the course of the second segment. We might give you guys a little bit more time towards the end of the show before we announce our winner there. And another reminder here as well, for those of you that are joining us on our social media outlets, right now, go to the social media outlets that we have on Green Legion Radio, on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Get in there now, because our second segment, we're going to have life advice with Murph, or we're going to have a little bit of Ask the Show, whatever it is. It could be Phillies related. It could be Major League Baseball related, whatever it is. Listen, I would love to have a good life advice question for Murph. So a couple of my guys are in the room right now. Unhappy Gilmore and Mike Scott, start feeding in there, man. Before we do decide, let's just do a quick hitter real fast, Murph. I'd like to get your opinion on this. The starting pitching has been solid over the last week. Nola has pitched really well, has not been rewarded for it. 0 runs of support, in any of the efforts that he had between the Brewers and the Mets on Friday night, obviously. But 13 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts, 3 earned, 1 walk, 8 hits allowed. I mean, that's a fantastic whip right there for him over the last week. Gibson's ERA 2.93, Eflin at 3.0. 3.20, and then you have Suarez working his way up to 97 pitches, and Wheeler the other day. 1 hit ball, 4 walks. I mean, listen, the starting rotation, I believe I heard Girardi say this the other day. Right now, at this point, it's kind of like these guys are just coming out of spring training. You see that yourself?
Yeah, and we thought that the starting rotation was going to be a strength on this team. And I think certainly the Phil's front office believes that that's going to be the case. I talked to Dave Dombrowski last Tuesday night, and he was saying, I think we're starting to see this rotation the way we anticipated it when we built the rotation. So yeah, I think you're starting to see that for sure. And it's great to see, because it all starts with starting pitching. And that's just the fact across baseball. If you get good starting pitching, you're in every game. And that's what we saw this week, good starting pitching. And the Phils had a chance to win virtually every game they played this week. So yeah, I think Wheeler, I talked to him yesterday. He said he is right there. He's just making a couple of tweaks in the bullpen. I think his next start will be Wednesday against the Rangers. So it'll be interesting to see him go out against that lineup. And Aaron's been great. Kind of hard luck because they haven't scored any runs for him. But hey, he knows that he's getting his job done, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. He knows right now that it's not September.
You had to go there.
Absolutely had to go there for sure. Premier Window Cleaning is the leading window cleaning company, Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. Over 30 years experience. They offer commercial and residential window cleaning, pressure washing, parking garage cleaning, graffiti removal, post-construction cleaning. Every employee is trained, certified, and goes through an extensive background check at Premier Window Cleaning. Your satisfaction level needs to be 100%, as no job is complete until you're happy. With clients like Lincoln Financial Field, Comcast, Chop Roberts, and University of Pennsylvania, you cannot go wrong. For more information and a full list of services, give them a call at 267-534-5198. That's 267-534-5198. Or head to their website, www.wehatedirtywindows.com. That's www.wehatedirtywindows.com. Again, in our second segment, we're going to award our winner for the 2 tickets. Get your animated movie in there right now. And Life Advice with Murph and Ask the Show. We're going to answer your questions in the second segment coming up right here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. We are Bud Light Baseball Brunch. We'll be right back right after this.
Clear.
Dude,
It's all good.
Dude, I had one too because
I've had this, thing going on for, I don't know, 6 weeks now. And it's almost, it's like 90%,
but every once in a while.
Comes back, comes creeping back up.
there it is. There it is.
Bow, 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 bow.
man, it'd be nice to see tonight's game. It really would. You walk out of here,
Enjoy tomorrow's day off. It'd be awesome.
of course, I'll be sleeping through most of the hard day. I don't think we're supposed to be back in Philly until about 30 tonight. By the time I get there, then it'll be about 2:30.
Say what you got, honey.
Do you want these? I have about 5 right now. Do you want me to wait, or do you want me to?
We'll do it towards the end of the segment.
All right.
So I'll bring it up again when we come back on, and we'll go from there.
All right. I'll text you what I have.
Yeah, when we have whatever we have by 35, because then that gives us a few
I don't
minutes.
have the same time as you do. Remember?
No. I'm talking 11:35.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so once we get to 11:35, then shoot them to me in a text message, and then just put something up here. That way, hey, texted it to you or something like that, and that way I see it.
Okay.
It's just over 2 minutes here.
Okay.
The next break's 2:54. Do you want me to add something?
We don't have to. We can. That gives us more time in the last segment. Yeah.
It's up to you guys. 'Cause I know these
We'll gab it up for sure.
And then the last one's 2:34. So if you guys can take us till 57.
57.
Yeah.
Slash, you're talking my language right now. Talking my language.
So, Murph Fan Club at Toy Story.
No one's gonna have my number one.
Really? Is it a newer one, an older one?
So on Panavision, they ask, the question, ask the Phillies.
Yeah.
We get asked those questions too, and they use us sometimes. This was one of the questions this year.
I think they said
Disney.
Really?
And actually, one of the guys said the same as me.
Where's Toy Story on your list? 3? Ooh.
Toy Story came out when I was, I didn't have kids, but I was almost
93, I think.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of right in the middle.
I saw Toy Story later.
I've only ever seen, I think I saw the first two. I don't think I've seen it.
Third one's really good.
The third one's good. I didn't see the fourth
I
one because I thought they should have just ended it at the third one. But
If you want a good cry, the third one's really good.
Actually, my first two, no one will.
I'm curious. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we're coming back here. Stand by.
The Gambler, presented by Pure Auto Insurance.
All right, the Loveland Hotel in Sea City, everyone. We are happy to introduce to you for the first time the fully renovated Loveland Hotel at 4000 Landis Avenue in Sea City. Yes, the old La Costa With the complete renovations finished, you will now see a brand new look, feel, and vibe set amongst a casually sophisticated bar, a cozy a la carte dining room, and the only mellow lounge in Townsend's Inlet. The menu is seasonal, offering the freshest local seafood, cooked simple to ensure that flavor that already exists stays that way. The hotel is open year-round, and all guests enjoy free Wi-Fi, one free parking spot per room, and complimentary beach tags for all registered adults. Walking distance to everything. Check them out at www.ludlamhotel.com. That's www.ludlamhotel.com, or call them at 609-263-7829. That's 609-263-7829 for all your reservation, dining, or entertainment questions. Loveland Hotel, your new oasis in Sea City. Welcome back for our segment here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch on this beautiful Sunday in the Delaware Valley. I don't know what it looks like up there in New York City, but I don't even know if you've gone outside yet, Murph, and you just had the expensive $23 coffee and
I'm not celebrating that. And no, I have not.
And was it a $42 bagel? An extra $15 for the cream cheese.
True story. I brought my breakfast with me from home. That's because I know how expensive it is up here. It's nuts. So I brought my little Wawa apple cups, and I'm all set. I'm good.
Is your expense account on John Middleton, or is it on the Phillies radio network?
It's on Green Legion. I thought. I gotta talk to Cindy. I gotta talk to him.
Yeah, we need to get you a nice salary bump there.
It's on Quimby. Bring me back a pot of coffee.
Oh gosh! All right, so here we are in our second segment here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in the Delaware Valley, and we're having some fun here on the show. And because the Phillies have had a good week. I mean, outside of Friday night, they've had a good week, 5-2. We're excited here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch. Another big week is upcoming, and we have to finish the series against the Mets tonight with a win for sure. I mean, they took 2 out of 3 here. We got that first win against them, and then they took the next 2. They took the first one on Friday night, and then we took the next one. We have to finish up strong. It's going to be a tough matchup tonight, though. Our old friend Max Scherzer. It's funny. He made his first career start against the Phillies when he was with the Diamondbacks. And I don't know about you, Murph, but he's been the thorn in our side ever since. And, it's going to be another tough matchup. But Zach Eflin's been pitching well. So, it could be another pitcher's duel tonight on Sunday Night Baseball. And that's kind of what I'm expecting.
Yeah, you're right about Scherzer. Every year, I think for the last 4 or 5 years, I've said at the beginning of the baseball season, this is the year that Max Scherzer is done. And every year, Max Scherzer looks at me with those brown and blue eyes and says, "Oh no, sir, I still have it," and he does. And if you're a baseball fan, you can't help but tip your cap for watching a great one throughout his career. That said, I hope we stomp him tonight. His numbers against the Phillies career: 15-4 with a 2.47 ERA. So he has dominated the Phillies over the years. If there's one thing we know about Max Scherzer, if you're going to get him, you got to get him early. And the Phillies had a chance to get him early the last time they faced him, and they let him off.
Loaded.
Let him off the hook. So they got it.
Was that Dennis Green?
That was pretty good, right?
that was good. I like that.
Thank you. But he is who we think he is. So
we know who we think he is for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty darn good. But you got to get to him early. So hopefully they can do that tonight.
Yeah, and another thing when it comes to Scherzer, it's incredible. Like in 2019, he had that dead arm situation in the World Series, and then last year in the NLCS against the Braves, he had another dead arm situation. I'm kind of hoping and praying he might have another one this week, because if he has one tonight, we miss him. Maybe he gets scratched in the start, and then we escape him next weekend in that 4-game set. It would be beneficial for all of us here, Murph.
I'll take it any way we can get it, but I'd love to go flat out just beat him. That would be nice too.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a great matchup for sure. Hey guys, go to the message board again. We're going to decide on the best, on the favorite, whoever. It doesn't have to be the best. Your favorite animated film of all time. You can go ahead to our social media outlets and join in on the fun. I told Sam we got about another 5 minutes before we're going to start discussing who our winner is going to be. As well, get your questions in. Anything on Major League Baseball, the Phillies, life advice that you need from Murph. I know Murph's got a lot of great advice that he can give out for sure. So anybody that's in that room right now, Unhappy Gilmore, Mike Scott, Keenan Harmon, a bunch of our good friends here for the program. Make sure you guys get in your questions. But we're going to continue talking a little bit about, it's a couple other things that I had here on the run sheet for this week's show. Murph, two guys that have been struggling the most so far in the early set of this season had big home runs last night. Kyle Schwarber and Rhys Hoskins. Man, I'll tell you what, if there's going to do anything to try and help out with getting them back in line, it has to be what they both did last night. Rhys's home run broke an 0-for-16 slump that he was in. Now that the calendar is changing from April to May, we also need to get Gene Segura back on track too, because 227 is not what I'm used to from Gene. I'm used to that 2 at the beginning being a 3. We need to get those 3 going. If this offense is like, think about that right now, Murph. They're tied for second in runs scored in Major League Baseball, and 3 of your big guys in this lineup haven't even gotten going yet.
You're exactly right. So that's a very optimistic way of looking at things. And if you look at expected batting average, if you're into the analytics and certainly
no,
well, I'm not as much either, to be honest.
I know. I'm kidding.
But front office,
I'm contrarian.
Baseball are expected batting average for the Phils. They're number 1 in baseball. Which what they're saying is, the Phils have hit into a little bit of bad luck. When you talk about hitting into bad luck, Gene Segura, number 1 on the list. Gene Segura is barreling up baseball's left and right. He just doesn't have anything to show for it. He is right now, his barrel percentage is one of the best starts of his career. One of the best starts of his career. You can't ask for a guy to do anything more than barrel it up every time he swings the bat. He's doing that. He's just, for whatever reason, he's finding the center fielder, it seems like, every other time. So I think Gene's going to be just fine. I don't think we have to worry about him. That's going to regulate itself, and his batting average is going to start to creep. He's going to get balls to start falling, and he'll be just fine. He talked about it. I think I was on Friday during the day. He said he feels like he's swinging the bat as well as he's ever swung it, and he just doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. So I would not worry about Gene Segura. Rhys Hoskins, I thought Kevin Stocker last night on the radio in the first inning had just a really, really interesting take on Rhys Hoskins. He talked about his first at bat. And if you remember, in his first at bat, Hoskins hit a, lazy fly ball to right field. And Kevin Stocker said, you know what? That is a great sign, because we have not seen Hoskins hit one to right field in probably a week and a half. When he started the season hot like he did, he was using all fields. He was hitting to the gaps, right, left, center, right? When Rhys is going well, that's what he's doing. When he's not going well, he's hooking everything. He's around everything.
Yeah.
Pulling it down the left field line. Everything's foul. Everything's hooking. That's what we've seen. When he starts going the other way again, Hoskins is as streaky as they get. If he starts doing that, then he's going to start swinging a good bat. He did that in his first at bat. He hit one to center field. In his second at bat, he hits the home run later in the game. So I think maybe we're starting to see Hoskins come out of that slump a little bit, which would be great to see, to your point. And then finally, Kyle Schwarber, I said this on the postgame show last night. He hit that home run at around 10:30 last night. I said he was an hour and a half early for May. April is not Kyle Schwarber's month. It wasn't last year, and it wasn't this year. But once the calendar turns to May, history has shown that Kyle Schwarber starts to heat up. Well, he got out to a pretty quick start, and he hits that home run last night because somewhere it was May. I guess in Europe, somewhere it was May, and he decided to get things started. So, again, you just have to hope that Kyle's history is what we're going to see. And if that's the case, look out for Kyle Schwarber in May. And to your point, someone else is going to go into a slump. JT is going to go into a slump. Bryce is going to go into a slump. It's going to happen because that's baseball. But if you can get 3 or 4 of these guys consistently going at a time, it's okay to have a guy or two that's slumping because everybody else is going to pick them up. So the Phils are 11-11. They haven't played their best baseball yet, but there's no room for panic because here we are on May 1st and things are starting to turn around just a little bit.
Now, I know Bryce resumed throwing the other day. I think he threw on back-to-back days, and then I believe he said that he was going to shut it down for a week. What's the concern like around the team and the front office in regards to his elbow?
Yeah. I mean, the concern is, let's hope it doesn't get worse, right? I mean, they don't believe it will with him swinging the bat, obviously, or they wouldn't be putting him out there each and every night as the DH. But he's your best player, and he's unable to play the field because he's got something going on in his elbow. There's concern. I mean, that they'd be foolish not to be concerned. But they're being very, very careful with him. He is going to try and test it again Tuesday. We understand. It would be my opinion, and this is just an opinion, I don't think we see Bryce in the field for quite some time. Thank goodness for the designated hitter rule this year, because if not, Bryce would be on the IL right now and unable to play. At least he can contribute with his bat. The ball he hit last night would have been out of 19 ballparks out of 30. He hit one to dead center field, 407.5 feet in the deepest part of Citi Field. So he's still swinging the bat just fine. He's getting his base hits as well. So thank goodness for the DH. But of course there's concern. Of course there is. But hopefully he's able to, contain it to just the soreness and keep swinging the bat well.
Yeah, Mets fans continue to chant overrated at my two-time MVP stud. I mean, it just continues to feed to the fervor, no doubt about it. It's like, come on, man. Like, I actually enjoy it when I hear it on the road because I know he hears it. I know he hears it.
He loves it. Are you kidding? He loves it. He feeds off of it. He plays into it. Bryce is just the guy you want on your team. Bryce is Chase Utley. Bryce is, that guy that just takes it all in and uses everything to his advantage. It's awesome. So yeah, keep the chance coming. Keep them coming. Doesn't make any sense, but keep them coming.
I would be remiss too. I'm pretty impressed so far in the early going this season with how the bullpen has looked. It is completely night and day from what we've dealt with the last couple of years. Now, mind you, whenever I find a piece of wood, I'm going to knock on it before I leave the studio. There's got to be something somewhere around here in the iHeart Studios for sure. But they have pitched really well so far in early going. I believe I heard Scott Fransky say the other day that it's either 0 or 1 run allowed inherited this season by the Phillies bullpen. I know you work with Scott. I know you get all the stats, you get all the numbers. I mean, I believe most of your "Can you believe it's" are thanks to the Phillies research department. But if you mind, please tell me: is it 0? Is it 1? And what's your thoughts on the bullpen?
Well, the bullpen's been terrific. We had Corey Knebel on as our player of the game last night, talking to him about his 4th save of the year. And one of the things we talked to him about was, they haven't been perfect, right? They've walked some guys. They've gotten in situations, Sir Anthony will come in and do a really nice job, but then the next night he'll come in and put a guy or two on. So Alvarado comes in and then cleans up what Sir Anthony did. And then the next night Alvarado might walk a guy or two. And then here comes Brad Hand in to clean up what he was able to. And that's what they've been doing. They've been picking each other up. So the bullpen hasn't been perfect. They're allowing some base runners here and there, but they're not allowing runs to score. The number is since April 20th. So you go back to the Colorado series. Since April 20th, 19 inherited runners by the bullpen for the Phillies, 0 have scored. That's impressive. An impressive number. And if you do that consistently throughout the course of the season, then you're going to win a lot of games. And that's something the Phillies have not been able to do in the last couple of years. And it's something they are doing right now. Will there be a time where the bullpen gives up a lead? Yes, there will be. That's baseball. Will there be a time that Corey Knebel blows a save? Yes, it's going to happen from time to time.
It will happen. And
but it's not
only one Brad Lidge, right?
Right. It's not going to happen 26 times, though. It's going to happen 7 or 8 times over the course of 162. And you can live with that. So, because every baseball team is going to do that. So, kudos to the bullpen. And again, I think there's even room for improvement. Sir Anthony's still he's right there, but he hasn't found that command yet. You know what you get with Alvarado. He can either be lights out or he can be all over the place. And it's just important for Joe Girardi to, know what he's got on a particular night and react to that. Knebel's been good. Hand's been good. Look, a couple of the young guys or a couple of the new guys that we've seen have been real good, just filling those roles.
Battalion?
Yeah, Norwood last night gets his first win. That was great to see. You get Nick Nelson, who's come in and done a decent job when asked to come in. they're not allowing leads to build late in games. They're keeping leads to where they are so that the team has a chance to come back. It's been great. It's been really good. Hopefully it keeps up for a long time to come.
They also lead Major League Baseball in runs scored, I believe, after the 7th inning. Just keep us in the game. Yeah, keep us in the game long enough. And we said this at the beginning of the year, Murph, it's about time that we have Phillies baseball back to where we're never out of it. We are never out of it in the late innings of games, especially now that you have a bullpen that can hold. If you're down 1 or 2 runs, it's not going to blow up. And it allows that part of the lineup to come back and just do some damage later on in games. It's been fun to watch to get back to that part of baseball again, where it's 7th, 8th, 9th inning, you're not going, oh, man, it's 3-1. The game's over at that point.
Let me mention one other thing, just because we're being so optimistic right now. I love it. So the Mets,
you're not used to that from me.
No, this is great. The Mets have won their first 6 series of the year. They're trying to win their 7th series to start the season, which is impressive. I mean, that's what you're trying to do in baseball, win series. So we went back and looked last night at the last team to win their first 7 series. It was the Arizona Diamondbacks, I want to say 2014, 2015. The Arizona Diamondbacks won their first 8 series of that year. They then split a series, won the next series, split a series, and won the next series. So the first 12 series they played, they did not lose a single series. Where did the Diamondbacks finish that year? 1 game over 500 and in 3rd place in the NL West. So, yeah, I know the Mets were off to a fast start, but it's April. So, it's such a long season. So that's a good team. I'm not taking anything away from them. And they've got Buck Showalter, who I think was a huge addition for them. However, Phils are right there. The Marlins are right there. Lots of teams are right there.
The Braves are right there, too.
Yeah, Braves are right there. It's a good division, to be honest. There's a lot of good teams in this division. So.
Yeah. Listen, I said this yesterday. If the World Series was won in April, the Mets would be champions every single year. So, nonetheless. All right, coming up on the other side in our last segment here on this Sunday morning, we're going to announce our winner of the 2 tickets for the Friday night game between the Phillies and Mets, and we're going to do Can You Believe It? We're going to make our picks because we have a lot to redeem ourselves on after last week, both of us for sure, and we're going to talk a little bit about the week ahead right here on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. This is Bud Light Baseball Brunch. We'll be right back right after this.
Clear. Both 0-3?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, we both had the cards.
Right.
And then I took the under because the Yankees line looked like an under to me. And they put up 6 runs in the first 3 innings.
You had one night game that I wasn't sure which way you went for a late. I knew I was up for it right on the shoot.
Well, no, you took the Phillies. That was your 3rd pick.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
I wasn't rooting against you on that one. I'm dead serious. I wasn't. No, I wanted to see the Phillies win. Yeah. It's better for the show when the Phillies win. It's better for the show when we actually make good picks.
2 minutes.
All right, so we have our picks.
Yeah, so we'll pick the winner of the tickets. We'll do that real quick. I'm going to do a Green Legion read real fast.
You guys can even take it to 58 if you want.
All right, cool. So we got wiggle room.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our picks. We'll do Can You Believe It? Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Hey, if you're not doing anything after the show next Saturday, my brother's bachelor party, we're going to be down there. You want to come out afterwards and hang out?
Saturday, was it a night game?
4 o'clock.
Okay, where are you going? Do you know?
Well, before the game, we're going to Philly Live, and then we'll be at the game, and then we're going to Xfinity Live afterwards.
I'm not going to promise, but that's a doable thing. I'm going to walk over and have one with you guys.
Sounds good.
Your brother's bachelor party, is it?
Yeah.
Is he younger than you?
Yes. Yeah, we're almost 4 years to the day. So.
When did you get married?
June 18th.
June 18th. Yeah, my dad's birthday.
He gave me 1 day. He's like, this is the date. He's like, it's the first day of my vacation. I'm like, thanks.
How do you know it was my dad's birthday? That's how he chose the wedding date? He's like, Kyle's dad's birthday is June 18th.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
You know, it's a promising day.
It's also when I'm going to the Chesney concert. So.
The Chesney concert? Oh,
yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, we got my girlfriend got me tickets for Christmas. So.
Which means you're gonna have to that Sunday. You're not gonna have me, and you're gonna have a hungover Slash.
Yes.
Oh, you're not. Yeah, because you're not coming. You're gonna be hungover.
I'll be down at the shore for.
Okay.
We're coming back for you guys.
We can talk Chesney.
Yes.
The Green Legion. Make sure you prepare yourself for another round of great football destinations this season with Chicago, Arizona, Indy, and Houston all on the schedule. NFL will release their schedule on May 12th, so be prepared soon after that for packages to be released. If you want to ensure a spot on a trip, we are accepting $150 fully refundable early bird deposits, and we'll do so through April. If you're interested in attending any of our road trips this season, call the office at 215-666-5940. That's 215-666-5940, or go to greenlegion.com. And this season is going to be exciting for sure for our Philadelphia Eagles.
And Phillies, such a good time. So if you haven't done it yet, you got to do it.
No doubt about it. Maybe we can get Murph out on a trip this year. That'd be a lot of fun.
That. Honestly, I would. I planned on it last year, but life got in the way. But maybe this year, yeah, for sure.
Sounds great. Welcome back to Bud Light Baseball Brunch here on this Sunday morning as we take you in. And I know it's like taking you in. I mean, we got 7 hours until the Phillies take the mound, but we're taking you in to our family here at 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler and Green Legion Radio, and we're having some fun with you guys. Always love doing the show every week with my guy Murph and Slash here in studio, and Sam will be back with us next week. Nobody wants to see Murph and I down at Xfinity Live. They want to see Sam. That's that's what they come for. So, yep. No doubt about it. You know, everybody wants to see the woman. They don't want to see the man for sure. All right. So we got 2 tickets for Friday night's game against the Mets at 7:05. It's going to be a big time matchup in Philadelphia and South Philadelphia for sure. Name your favorite animated movie. So Murph has a top 5 over there. I'm like, man, you are dedicating yourself this year to this. I love it. Love it very much. All right. So here's where we have to pick from, Murph. Okay. Akira. I don't know what the heck that is. Are you sure about that? All right, so you're eliminated. Despicable Me with the Minions.
Oh, good one.
Polar Express, Shrek, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Monsters, Inc., and Transformers 1986 version.
Interesting. So Polar Express is one I did not even think about. Really, really good one. Not on my top 5, but I do like that one a lot. Let me quickly give you my top 5. I already told you about Frozen. That's number 5. Number 4 for me was Shrek. Great movie. Very funny. Had it all. So Shrek comes in at number 2. Toy Story, number 3 for me. I only saw the first 2, but awesome movies. But the top 2 for me, these are old school, but someone did mention one of my top 2, and I said I didn't think that would happen. Number 2 for me is Aladdin. My kids were young when that came out. We watched that 1,000 times a day. Great movie. But the number 1 for me is, again, because my kids were young when it came out. My daughter was young when it came out. The Little Mermaid. And so The Little Mermaid, to me, had a little bit of everything. It has the best music in any Disney movie of all time. And I'm a big music guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. So The Little Mermaid was number 1 for me. But as I said, if someone mentioned one of my top 5, I'd give them my vote. So Aladdin gets my vote.
Aladdin gets your vote. Okay. So for me, man, God, I love a few of these movies. I'm saying with you with Polar Express. You know, my son loves Polar Express. It's like a Christmas tradition. Watching it with my oldest son, he'll watch it, and it's not even Christmas. But then Monsters Inc. is a classic, and Aladdin is so good as well. But I'm the contrarian. You know how I am, and I would love to roll with Aladdin with you, but I don't watch it with the kids as much as some of these other ones. Shrek to me is classic. I mean, it's.
I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah,
that's it. That's got to be in my top 5 too.
So, all right. So Slash, you got to choose between Aladdin and Shrek.
I'm going Shrek.
Shrek.
I love
All right.
Shrek too.
You went with Murph last week. You're going with me this week.
Yeah.
So Shrek is the winner. Thank you. Sam will text me over the winner, your name, and then send her the email address, and then I'll send you the tickets. Oh, it's Mike Scott. Hey, all right, cool. So I didn't even know Mike was in on that. So congratulations to my good buddy Mike Scott. I just got you free tickets for this upcoming Friday. I didn't do it on purpose though, because I didn't even know it was you. So without further ado, though, we have to go into our picks now, Murph. And last week we both, fell flat on our face. And coming out of the gates here early on in the season. Now, I'm going to say this right now, okay? The opening day show, and you had already went into the stadium, and I stuck around with Slash and Brace. If we go back, Slash, and I'm not trying to claim these as W's for myself because it's me and you against each other, but I gave about 4 picks, and I believe on that day I went 3-1. I mean, so I don't want to sit here and act like, I've been complete trash. Because I haven't been.
Yeah, you just came back down to earth.
I came way back down to earth, and that's just how it goes, especially here on Bud Light Baseball Brunch. So I'm 0 for 6 to start the season, but Murph, you're only 2 games up. You're 2-4. And Murph and I, before the show, we did decide on a scoring system. This is going to be something that we do. Now, we're still going to keep the 2-4, the 0-6, but I think we're more inclined to go with a scoring system this year, and that's what we're going to do. So 3 points for over plus 200. 2 points for plus 100 to plus 199, 1 point for a favorite of minus 101 to minus 199, and then only a half point if you take that supreme high, favorite that's, minus 200 and above. And we're going to go 1 point for over-unders. Yeah. So that's how we're going to play the game this year. So, Chad, you have more to do on our social media outtakes this, for this season for sure for the standings. So, Murph, give me your first pick. What's on your ticket today?
All right. So because of the scoring system, my first pick was Brewers-Cubs lock, but it's way too lopsided, so I'm not taking the Brewers. They're minus 220 over the Cubs. Stroman was pitching for the Cubs. He thinks so. But I'm not picking that. So my first pick of the week is Padres-Pirates. Joe Musgrove on the hill for Padres. I can talk. Mitch Keller on the mound for the Pirates. I'll try to get it out.
It's all good, man. You're the professional here.
Proving it daily. I'm taking the Padres. I'm just taking the better team. That's the bottom line, taking the better team. They're minus 160 or something. So Padres over the Pirates, getaway day. I think they're heading to Cleveland after this. I'll take the better team to win the series, Padres.
God bless them for heading to Cleveland, but
Cleveland's a great city. Great city.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. No comment. All right. I'm going to start out with my over/under here. Dodgers Tigers. I'm going to go over 7.5, which is a minus 110. Okay. They went under the first 2 games of this series in Dodger Stadium. I know Walker Buehler is on the mound today for the Dodgers, but Eduardo Rodriguez is on the hill for the Tigers, and he has not gotten off to a good start. I'm taking over the 7.5 for the Dodgers Tigers today. I'm just going with the odds here. You can't go 3 straight unders, right? I mean, so for me, I'm going to take the over there. Next one, Murph.
All right. I got Angels, White Sox, and I'm taking an underdog. The Angels are plus 140 in Chicago today. And I'm taking them to win that game. Angels over White Sox. White Sox lost 7 in a row. They're not playing very well. They lost 7 in a row earlier this week. So I'm going to go with the Angels, who are playing well, and take them.
All right. I'm going to take the Guardians. I feel so weird saying that. It should still be the Cleveland Indians, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that. The Guardians at minus 118 to finish the sweep in Oakland against the Athletics in front of the opposite of what would be a capacity crowd.
Yes, they're not drawing very well in Oakland. Okay, all right, good pick. Finally, for me, out on the West Coast, the Nationals and the Giants. You got Josiah Gray versus Alex Cobb in this one. The Giants are minus 170, so a heavy favorite. I'm going to take the Giants to win this. They're not going to lose the series to the Nats. They split the first 2 games. The Nats scored 11 runs, had 22 hits the other day in their win. They had 11 hits in their loss yesterday. I'll take the Giants to win this game behind Gabe Kapler, or Gabe behind Gabe. I'm losing it right now. But I'll take a minus 170. So I've got 2 favorites and 1 underdog today.
All right, my underdog this week, I'm going with the Seattle Mariners at plus 116 to avoid the sweep in Miami against the Red Hot Marlins. Seattle's lost 4 in a row. Miami has won 7 in a row. I'm going to take Logan Gilbert today over Sandy Alcantara. Logan Gilbert 3-0 with a .40 ERA in the early going. Both streaks will end today. I'm going to take the Mariners with plus 116. But can you believe it? Can you believe it? 2 things that we found interesting over the course of the last week in Major League Baseball. Murph, give me your first one.
All right. This one happened a couple of days ago. Mike Trout has a 1.284 OPS through 15 games this season. That's the second highest OPS for him through 15 games in his career. Back in 2019, he had a 1352 OPS through 15 games. He won the American League MVP that year. I think I have him winning the MVP this year, right?
You do?
Yeah, I thought so. He's off to a great start. So Mike Trout just keeps it going. It's unbelievable.
Before you pat it yourself on the back, I was actually going to do it myself, but it's all good. You got to bring that up. You can't rely on it either. This one right here is courtesy of MLB Stats. We talked about him a lot earlier on in the show, but Max Scherzer. The other day, he recorded his 106th career 10-plus strikeout game, good for 5th all-time.
How about that? Yeah, that's
what a beast.
That's a good one. All right, how about this one? I mentioned 22 hits for the Nationals on Friday night. That's pretty impressive offensive output. Josh Bell, Maikel Franco, and Victor Robles each had 4 hits.
I saw this. Yep.
Yes, second time in Nats Expos franchise history, they've had 3 players with 4 hits in the same game. The last time that happened, you weren't even born. I was 7, 1978. Gary Carter, Andre Dawson, and Larry Parrish are now linked forever with Josh Bell, Maikel Franco, and Victor Robles. How about that? That's cool. That's baseball.
I think the first threesome is a lot better than the second threesome, but that's just my opinion.
You never know.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Minnesota Twins Joe Ryan has the lowest whip, 0.74 through 9 career starts since Christy Mathewson did it in 1901 with a .70.
You didn't say I wasn't born then. You could have.
I'm not gonna listen. I gotta respect my elders. I'm not gonna take that subtle shot at you, but at the same time, I don't want you to not want to do the show with me anymore. So, Murph, looking at the week ahead, we have tonight Sunday Night Baseball, big game. We want to take this matchup for sure. Monday we're off. Then we have 2 games set against the Rangers here at home, and then the big matchup yet again next week 4 at home against these New York Mets. Murph, what's your thoughts on this week?
Well, again, first things first. Get after Max Scherzer tonight. Get after him early. Try to win this series. Winning this series, I think, does an awful lot for the confidence of this team. Puts them back over 500, heading home to play a mediocre Rangers team. Actually, that's probably kind.
Yeah, I think you're being kind to them.
Not very good Rangers team. And then you have the Mets coming back home, and you have that confidence of, hey, we just beat them up at their place 2 out of 3. Let's take care of business at home. And remember, we come back to New York at the end of this month for another 3-game series before we put the Mets in our rearview mirror for a while. So it's a big week. Obviously, 5 games against the New York Mets, the team you're chasing in the NL East, and you've got a couple against the Rangers mixed in there as well. But don't look past tonight. Win the series tonight. Beat Max Scherzer. That goes a long way into the confidence bank for sure for this team.
No doubt. Let's get this series win for sure. Thank you all for listening right here on this Sunday morning on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler and following us again on our social media platforms. For Greg Murphy / Super Sam Brady, I'm Chris Sack, and like a 3-1 pitch to Ryan Howard, we are out of here. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and let's go Phillies. Take down those New York Mets.
Clear.
Sweet. Sweet.
All right.
Good show as